I'm going to talk about the place of LLMs in knowledge work. LLMs are seductive. It appears that you can interact with them in bad English and they seem to give you 20,000 word reports within 5 minutes. And that seems like a lot of fun. I have a list of thoughts around how this can and shouldn't be used. The first thing I want to say is that there is something really costly in terms of the learning journey of the user. And here I'm stealing ideas from Ezra Klein. You can get the LLM to give you a rapid briefing. You can get the LLM to summarize a paper to you, or give you the abstract of a paper, or give you the summary of a book. You can look clever in the eyes of other people by making it seem that you have read a book. But that is not a substitute for reading a book. As Ezra Klein emphasizes, when we read a book, what is happening is the active reading in our mind. We engage with the ideas of the book, we argue about it, we wrestle with ourselves, and out of that, we become different. Our minds change, our knowledge changes, our worldview changes. These are deep, invisible things that happen inside us. You can't define what was the change that happened. So it's a completely wrong thing to think about a book as a body of knowledge, which you then regurgitate in an exam or in a speech. That's not a book. A book is something much bigger. A book changes you, it changes the way you think. A good paper changes the way you think about the world. Using the LLMs as a crutch where you're getting a rapid summary is interfering with that process of learning. So if people feel happy, feel comfortable saying, my hard work is done, I didn't need to read the book, I kind of got a hang of it, then I just want to say, hold on. You haven't actually done it. That there is a lifetime journey of knowledge where we read papers, we read books, and we build our knowledge, we build our worldview, we build our ability to understand the world, we build a model of the world, we build a theory of the world. All that will get interrupted if we resort to these rapid fixes of the AI. And indeed, that is the global crisis in university education, in the humanities and the social sciences. The universities had developed a teaching technique that was based on students writing papers. But if the LLMs are going to write papers, then for the students that abuse this privilege, they've actually lost the learning opportunity. The point was not to get the paper. The point was to get the learning. That through the effort of writing the paper, you were supposed to develop knowledge. And if you just use an LLM, then you've kind of got your job done. You've satisfied a boss. You've satisfied a teacher. You've got a grade in an exam, but it's not a substitute for knowledge because actually you don't know. And you know what in life? It matters that you know. So this is the first body of concern that I have, that we get the appearance of having some glib knowledge, of having, some journalistic superficiality, but it is not knowledge. The second thing I want to say is that actually in knowledge work, the heart and soul is synthesis, creativity, originality, novelty. We are valued in knowledge work because we figure out something new. There's got to be something original that we bring to the table. If you're just doling out something that an LLM has done, then why does the universe require you? Because the universe is fully ready to go to the LLM and get it themselves. So I think a very important idea is that if there is a product that you are giving the world and if it is being made by an LLM, then you have a serious job security problem. It is only when you do a product out of your blood, toil, sweat, and tears that you have a hope in hell of being there in the space of knowledge, doing something new, doing something unique, making a synthesis of the world that is yours and yours alone. And then you're adding value to the world, because otherwise you're not adding value to the world. So that's the second way to think about it, that if you're shipping an LLM product, you are in deep trouble. Neither did you get the knowledge, nor did you create the case for the universe to care about your existence. If I'm going to make a show of everything is everything that is built out of LLM research for me, then why would you ever watch everything is everything? You just go to the LLM. I only add value when I'm me, when I bring my full knowledge, my full power, which is way superior to what any LLM knows, because I am the AGI and the LLM is not. Okay? So that's the second way to think about it, that either you're going to be in knowledge work or you're going to be a corporate person. If you're going to be in a normal corporation doing a normal corporate job, fine. Then you are in the treadmill of doing LLM-like work, and then you have a job security problem about what parts of your work will be replaced by LLMs. I do not believe everybody and everything will be replaced by LLMs, but many things will. Whereas in knowledge work, our edge is that we are AGI and the LLM is not. And then you must nurture that every day. And so you have to do the things yourself. If you're using the LLM to get some work done, then you should be asking, why am I in this job? Okay, the third question is about the learning journey. Now, through both these things, what I'm emphasizing is that you become strong by doing work. And that is indeed a crisis in the modern world of LLMs, that there are many seniors who are getting the work of juniors done through LLMs. So I think the clearest depiction of this is happening in the world of computer programming. Ayush Patnaik, who is one of the good programmers by global standards, says to me that he would use a code to text tool and get a first draft of the code. And it's often bad code, it's often shitty code. And then he'll fix it up, he'll think about it, maybe he'll throw it away, maybe he'll tell the LLM, this is the kind of algorithm that you should be using. But he's finding it to be a useful version 0, and then he builds it, he builds on it. Now, the adverse impact of that is that it has kicked away the ability of some young people to grow by working for Ayush Patnaik. Okay, and that is a serious threat. That to the extent that young people work with seniors, they get mentorship. Okay, so I always say to people that your best hope is to find a good master and become an apprentice. And you learn by being with cool people. So the most important learning journey happens not in university, but it happens in working. And you should find a good master and you should become their apprentice. But the trouble is that the supply of masters has come down, because many people are getting their work done by a junior assistant that is an LLM. So the implication for the world of knowledge is that it has become harder to find good masters to be around, where you can apprentice, you can learn their ways, you can learn their wisdom, you can learn their values. So the availability of those job roles has gone down, and that is indeed a problem. And that is something that anybody in the knowledge business is going to need to worry about. Finally, I want to talk about the errors and the flaws of using LLMs and LLM based work. Everybody talks about the hallucinations, and of course, that is correct. The errors that LLMs make are pretty bad. Similarly, I'm an expert in many fields, and I've several times tried to get an LLM through prompt engineering to write a paper. By the way, I use that as a litmus test, that if a one para prompt can make an LLM write a paper, then really that paper does not have a reason to exist. You should just put up that prompt on Twitter. That's your originality, and the universe does not need your paper. So I do use that as a test, that if the LLM can do something, then it's not worth doing. And real quality, real novelty, real originality lies in writing things that the LLMs are unable to do. But in addition to the problem of hallucinations, I have grown to understand the problem of confirmation bias. Whatever you believe, the LLMs tend to encourage you in that path. Okay, so humans have always been frail. Humans have always suffered from confirmation bias. Ever since the work of Kahneman and Tversky, we have known that humans are weak, humans are fragile, humans suffer from many errors in our ability to figure out the world, and an important one is confirmation bias. What I've increasingly become conscious about is that the LLMs are really dangerous in that they amplify your confirmation bias. Whatever it is you believe, they kick you further down that route. They make you more certain of yourself because you feel like you've got somebody echoing your things back to you saying, wow, you're so brilliant, you're so clever, you're so charismatic, you're so cool, you've really figured it out. I agree with you. This is something truly harmful that the LLMs are doing. By the way, I think it is exaggerating the polarization of the world. We had a level 1 polarization with social media where people got into the trap of talking to more people like them, and then we each of us got confirmation bias because we were told by people like us that you are so cool. Well, this is stage 2 of the same confirmation bias. The flat earth people are told by the LLMs, yes sir, the earth is flat. And the LLMs do not encourage you to do critical thinking. They don't challenge you. And they encourage you to go down your mistaken ways. And this is a truly dangerous thing. And one more great reason why the old ways of organizing the world of knowledge are important. I wake up every morning and I read 3 physical newspapers. I read the Business Standard, I read the Indian Express, I read the Mint. I turn the pages because I want things to go into my head that are not shaped by my confirmation bias. If the editor thinks something is important, if a columnist thinks something is important, it challenges my view of the world, and it makes me think more about the world, and it makes me worry that my model of the world may be inaccurate. So in addition to the hallucinations problem, I think all of us should worry that in the world of the LLMs, we are being fed with confirmation bias. We're becoming overconfident. We are being told we are cool, that we are correct. And that is truly harmful and truly dangerous. Finally, my last point is that the LLMs are only as good as the internet. And where the internet has more rubbish, the LLMs are weaker. So by and large, the internet content on India is very poor. So the LLMs give you more shabby work on India. The internet contains nonsense material on vaccine denial or right-wing conservatism and nationalism. All that stuff gets accentuated. The internet is filled with social justice, so you're going to get more social justice. So you've got to understand that the LLM is not a repository of knowledge. It is not a representation of the knowledge of wise people of the world. It is a representation of the internet, and the internet is horrible. So you should use it as like a skeptical reading of the internet, of a summary of the knowledge that is there on the internet. It is not a replacement for human knowledge and human wisdom.